I'm Esther Chen. I'm speaking on behalf of I'm the secretary of the Global Federation of Chinese Business Movement.
People looking at volunteer opportunities on our own website here in Markham. And they would like to volunteer with people and organizations like yours. We also publish at York Region many materials that are in Chinese, and I wanted to bring one of them. This is from Community Services and Housing, it's all about various aspects of the services provided by York Region, municipal government, and the housing services. I don't have enough for everybody, clearly. There's a good crowd here, but I'll leave them at the back. And if you wanted to pick one up, or you can just, we can get you more, or we can get you out a whole bunch more. So there's one person I wanted to thank for, and I don't know if he's still here, John Wong. John Wong is our IT expert in setting these kinds of things up, and he's a superman as far as counselors are concerned. He helps us do everything, like setting rooms up like this, and even just turning on Blackberries. We're pretty stupid when it comes to IT stuff. And I think he's here, or is he gone now?
Yeah.
Oh, he may have gone. Oh, he's gone. Well, he helped us do this, and that's the reason why I think it'll work very well. So, welcome to Markham. I can't stay all afternoon. I will be here for a while. And the person I came to hear first of all is a man I'm very proud of. I don't know when you're going to introduce him, but our MVP, Michael Chan. He's one of the great, he's one of the great MVPs, and has done a wonderful job for us here in Markham. We're well aware that he's going to do more for this town and for your community. So welcome. I'm looking forward to the session today. Thank you very much.
The Deputy Mayor of Town of Markham. The forum has been brought to you by the Chinese Canadian Political Action Committee of Ontario, or short name SABACO. I'm going to call upon our President, Mr. Alan Ho, to say a few words. Alan, you have 2 minutes.
Thank you. Minister Chan, Deputy Mayor Heath, honorable guests, fellow colleagues, starting from A to Z in the community, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon and welcome to our Chinese Canadian Political Action Committee of Ontario's Roundtable Forum on Immigration Services in Ontario. It is indeed an honor to receive an overwhelming support from Minister Chan as well as our Deputy Mayor Heath and most of the organizations serving Chinese immigrants in Greater Toronto areas. And to be exact, we have altogether 32 organizations participating in today's forum. These organizations come from many different sectors, including community and social services, business association, media education, and many, many. Chinese Canadian Political Action Committee of Ontario is an organization to promote the political awareness and participation among the Chinese community. And by organizing this forum, we hope that the Chinese community concern can be channeled to Queen's Park, to Parliament Hill, as well as various town centers by our political leaders. As well, we hope that all organizations present today will be able to share their experience and challenges in serving the Chinese community and to voice their opinion and to achieve a fruitful result when leaving this room. Before we start, I would like to thank my team of volunteers, they are all sitting there, by spending great effort and time to make this roundtable forum possible, especially Mr. Peter Chan, Mr. Alex Siu, our MC, and also Ms. Madam Wong, for their dedication to promote the well-being and betterment of new immigrants. Without any delay, I would like to invite Minister Chan to say hello to us. Minister Chan, please. Thank you.
No, I think Alan spent more than 2 minutes, so I will speak maybe shorter times, shorter time in the But anyway, I will be delivering a speech later on today. First, I want to congratulate the town of Macau. We have new deputy mayor. And I'm one of your constituents, so be kind to me. Thank you, President Alan Ho, for inviting me attending to today's so meaningful forum, and thank you, MC, and all the participants that are coming today. And I'm really looking forward to hearing from you because, as you know, the Chinese community in Ontario, we have 600,000 strong, and it's vital that the benefit of the Chinese community should be addressed and looked after. So this is one of the big reasons I'm here today. And when Alan talked to me back in November 2007, mentioning this idea of having a forum, and I support it, and I hope today, after today, it will be fruitful. So thank you. I'll be talking again later on today. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. In Ontario, there's about 200 ethnic groups. If Michael go once a week to each ethnic group, it takes 4 years to finish. I'm sure everybody appreciates Michael's presence today. Thank you. As you all see, we have a very tight schedule, so without further ado, I'm going to move along. We're going to enter the main course of today, part 1 presentation, on which organization in alphabetical order of the name of the organization. We'll do a free format presentation, and each of you will have approximately 2 minutes. And when it comes to 1 minute 45 seconds, there will be a warning. And then when it comes to 2 minutes, there will be ding ding. You can present in either English, Chinese, or any language you want, as long as people understand. And one reminder, in front of you there's a lot of mic. Each of you have a mic in front of you, and don't forget to press the button before you start speaking. So for this session, I'm going to call upon our moderator, Mena Wong, and Professor Peter Chen to chair this session. Mena and Peter, the floor is yours now.
Thank you, Alex. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mena, and I'm really happy here today. Gee, I'm the moderator, and I don't want to. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again. Without further ado, let's begin the forum. Before we start, I'd like to take a couple of moments to go through some of the rules of the proceeding. As you are aware, we have on everyone's seat a package of today's forum. In the package, you'll find a list of organizations that are participating today. You will have the agenda, and you will also have a whole package of introduction to the agencies. So within that 2-minute time frame that you have for presentation, I don't think that we have the luxury of doing the introduction of the agency. So please take good use of the time. We would like to have one representative from each agency to make the presentation. But if you wish, you may want to share the 2-minute time frame between the members of the agency. And again, since we are here today to express our concerns and in addition, provide recommendations and possible solutions to the concerns, please, I would trust that you will provide with in-depth analysis of the issues, and as well as the possible solutions to the concerns. And in order for us to be able to quantitatively reflect your concerns in our report, please don't hesitate to so-called repeat the concerns that other people have expressed already. So in that way, we'll be able to tally the number of occurrence in that particular concern. Okay, so without, again, why don't we start the forum right now, and the first presenter, the first agency will be Ms. Jen Yang from Access. Ms. Yang, the floor is yours.
everybody. Okay. Access is a community-based non-profit organization. We have been connecting qualified new Canadians to employers across the GTA since 1986. We receive financial support from the United Way, all levels of government, and corporate sponsors as well. Each year, over 1,500 job seekers are served at our 5 locations across GTA. On our team, we have over 100 staff members. Services provided in 34 languages, including Mandarin and Cantonese. We have 20 full-time job developers to connect job seekers with employers. Next is our mission. Okay. Access assist job seekers from diverse backgrounds facing barriers to employment to integrate into the Canadian job market. We achieve this by providing employment services, link employers to skills people, and building strong networks in collaboration with the community partners. Our services, we have a Job Connect program that is a major one. We have a START program that is a 10 weeks program for women to improve their employment skills and computer skills. We have a Talk English Cafe that is an opportunity for people to practice their English in the workplace. Next one, we have a job search workshop. We have a new Canadian workshop. But I want to mention here, please press the button. We have a 3 bridging program. That is a pilot program. We have one is in engineering, another one in accounting, another one in tourist services. Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Yan.
Okay. That's it.
Thank you. As all the friends here are well known in the community, we see old faces, we see new faces, but the services of the organizations are well known among us. So why don't we go ahead without the basic information of the agency or the service area that you serve, then jump into expressing our concerns of what we see in terms of providing immigrant services here in Ontario. So, one little reminder, could you please turn off your cell phone? Tony Look from Advanced Business Club, please.
Hello everyone, my name is Tony Look. I'm the president of Advanced Business Club. As well, in the private sector, I own an immigration consulting firm, and I've been doing the business for more than 20 years. Okay, a lot of our club is a non-profit club. We established more than 10 years. Our mandate is to help the new immigrant, especially those interested to open small business, to set their own business, as we help the new immigrant to settle down in Toronto. A lot of people complain to me, especially new immigrants, that they have a hard time to find the job. Especially they just came, and when they're looking for a job, people say you don't have any experience. So if no one helped them to get the first job, how can they have any experience? So the concern with the new immigrants is they have a hard time to find jobs. So my suggestion is is it possible from the government to have some kind of incentive program? Because I remember day back about many years ago, I think the government have a program that to subsidize the employer. If you hire a new immigrant, if for instance the wages 10 hours, the government will pay $2 to $3, and then in that sense, that encourages the new employer or the employer to help the new immigrant to give them a job. So this is my first condition. Is there any incentive from the government to help the employer to hire new immigrants? The second is about the language, because people complain to me that the language now the government offers good, but sometimes too long. It's not practical. So I wonder maybe is there any practical English course, job oriented? For instance, they find a job in a restaurant. Just have a short course you use the terms in the restaurant. For instance, you work in McDonald's, you know how the buns call, you know, things like that. So you work in the sewing machine operator, you know the terms of sewing machine. So instead of having a long course, have a practical and usable course, short time for health and fun job. Thank you.
That sounds like a broken record. I would like to invite everyone again to jump right into the issues, please. The third representative would be Joe Song from Asian Interactive Youth Association. Mr. Song.
Hello everyone, my name is Joe Song and I'm the Chief Secretary of Asian Interactive Youth Association. Just a brief description of AYA. Basically it's a high school and university run organization, and we've been inactive since 2003. So basically I have 3 points that I want to discuss today about this immigration service, and all 3 points that I'll be talking about today is going to be based on university student, because right now I'm a university student, second year at Ryerson University, and the concerns that I have today it's based on the point of view of a university student and also future university students. So basically the first one I want to talk about is the tuition fees. We know that tuition fees are going up every year, and it's becoming more harder and harder to get loans from the government, like for example OSAP, or if you want to apply for bursaries. And for people who are not sure what OSAP is that OSAP is a program where you get money from the assistant program, and then at the end of your study period you have to return the money back. So that's what OSAP is. And also there are other ways of getting money from the government, which is like from bursaries and everything. But the main point is that we know that every year the tuition fees are going up, and it's getting harder and harder for students to go to the university that they want to go to and to apply for the program they want to apply for. The next point I want to talk about is that the TDC fares, the transportation fare, is also going up, and I heard that I think during the next few months it's going to go up by another 25 cents or something like that. So having said that, students who are studying in Toronto, for example, U of T, Ryerson, York, they have to face this problem, because in the future, if the TDC fare is going to go up, it's going to be harder and harder for students to commute. And we know that our goal is to try to reduce, people driving and trying to get more people on the subways and the trains and everything. So if the TDC fares go up, then it will not be a great idea. And the final point I want to discuss is that for new immigrants that come to Canada right now, there's been an issues about having to being accepted to like middle schools or high schools. For example, new immigrants have to live in a certain place for a certain time before they can be accepted into the schools. So I think that's another problem that we might have to discuss about. Thank you.
We will have Ms. Joanna Low from Association of Chinese Canadian Entrepreneurs. Ms. Low.
Unfortunately, she couldn't make it today, so we're moving along.
We're moving on, and we'd like to invite Mr. James Lee, Canada Shanghai Business Association, please.
My name? Hello, my name is James Lee from Shanghai, Canada Shanghai Business Association. Can I use, because my English is not good enough, can I use Mandarin? Okay.
Anytime.
Okay, thank you. 我是上海加上海商会的。我们商会呢，主要是推动，其中的功能就是推动那个加中贸易方面的做这个事项。然后呢，我想关心的有2个议题呢，我想在这里有机会让我说一下。第一呢，就是在长三角地区，上海长三角地区呢。集中了江苏和浙江地区呢，集中了中国的一些很著名的企业家。这些企业家呢，经过中国30年的改革开放以后，这些企业呢从小到大已经壮大起来。然后这些企业家呢，也是最具有国际眼光的企业，他们就很想关心加拿大市场，想进入这个企业发展一定要走向国际，他们想进入加拿大市场。在这方面呢，上海商会呢做了很多工作，但是呢，希望就是想知道在政府在哪些方面能给我们提供点资源，让我们把这件事情做得更好。第二呢，这些企业家呢，他们 不但有一个好的企业，但是呢，他们本身自己也想有移民计划。他们有，当然是成功的企业家，他们有那个很多的财富，他们想移民过来。在这方面呢，想看看那个，如果他们选择其他国家的话呢，就会把这些资源流失了。所以呢，就希望能够在安省政府方面看看也是有什么计划和那个资源可以提供促进这些移民的来到加拿大的成功。好，谢谢。
The floor goes to Helen Well of Care for Seniors and Community Services Association.
Thank you. Care First basically is an ethno-specific service organization serving Chinese communities, especially the seniors, for 31 years. And there are three major issues I would like to raise this afternoon. Number one is that in year 2003, University of Toronto made a study talking about the health status of Chinese seniors immigrants to Canada. One thing, the scenario reflects that health-wise, the immigrant seniors, health-wise, they are of poorer health than the cohorts of the older population seniors. And unfortunately, the use of community support services, actually there is a serious issue of underutilization, and the reasons why is because there is a lack of culturally and language relevant services for them. For instance, like there's a big difficulty for seniors accessing primary health care because there's a lack of family physicians. And also, Care First provide a elder abuse hotline, and recently we have received phone calls from immigrant seniors. Basically, they are, say, like having serious issues of victims of elder abuse. And why? Because there's a lack of support for the family members. As a result, they're poorly looked after at home. So one of the major solutions we would like to raise is the government really have to look into the way how they fund agency. Basically, right now, the funding basically goes to all the mainstream organizations, and money has been very difficult to filter down to those service agencies serving ethnic seniors. So as a result, we would really appeal to the government to consider the funding policy that transfer payment agencies would also be able to not only partner with ethnic agencies, but have to make sure that the money really goes down to ethnic service providers, so that the money really goes to helping the seniors. And also for the funding for settlement agencies, please also consider that senior service agencies be included for settlement fundings.
I believe Professor M.Y. Chen will be the next presenter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Mena.
Professor Chen, please.
Thank you. Please refer to our PowerPoint. Please refer to our PowerPoint presentation in these 2 minutes presentations. The CCM Toronto Centre is the 4th community centres under the umbrella of CCM Canada. Our centre in Toronto was opened 6 months ago, offering a wide range of community services. Within the 9,000 square feet of space, there's an excellent lounge, a book room, and auditoriums of different sizes. The service of CCM Centre are planned and developed by a team of experienced social service professionals. In our first 6 months of operations, we provide the 211 events and classes for our communities, and we had 4,989 service users and 1,129 volunteers. We have 2 messages today for the government. We believe that the social services model in Canada right now is a model that we specialize in different areas. So different organizations provide social service in different specialized areas. But the problem is that in this way, the social service would be fragmented and discoordinated in many cases. So we believe that the government needs a holistic strategies for social service, especially for new immigrants, so that different kinds of social service can be coordinated and connect. Our second message today is that it is very important for the government to provide strategies for caregivers. For example, in family, the women, the mothers, are caregivers in the family units. If we can help them, then they can help the family members in the new immigrant families. We have two major messages today for the government to consider. Thank you so much.
We will invite Mr. Daniel Moy of the Center for Information and Community Services to speak to us.
Thank you very much. On behalf of CICS, we'd like to bring the attentions to the following few points. First of all, we have agreed very much on that we have to deliver services in a more holistic approach. We have to take care of not only for the people who are looking for jobs, we have to take care of the people who are living in the family, the seniors, the caregivers. We also have to bring the attention of the needs of the young people. Well, young immigrants, they have their own challenges, a lot of challenges from their side. So the government and all the service providers should not ignore the need of the youth immigrant. We also want to bring the attentions of everyone to the possibility of exploring new ways in delivering services. We have very effective way in delivering settlement services nowadays, but with the development of technologies and the disbursement and new immigrants coming into Canada, we need to explore new ways. Using internet services to providing services on a web-based purpose is one of the future. We are not saying that web-based services is going to replace the existing services, but definitely it should be one of the alternatives available for use. So we really hope that the government would have a more flexible visions in this side to assist agencies to develop service delivery mechanisms in this area. Last but not least is ESL program. Tony mentioned about the importance of language training. We agree that. But more importantly is we know that there will be a lot of resources devoted on the ESL training in the next few years. What I want the government to alert to is, other than the school board and colleges, there are a lot of social service agencies and community service agencies who are able and capable to deliver those ESL classes. So when the government make determinations or decisions on how to allocate resources on the ESL area, don't forget the possible contribution that can be made by local services agency. They have the capabilities and they have the experiences, and they can work together with the government and the school board and the colleges to deliver a very effective ESL program to our new immigrants. Thank you very much.
Next, we will have Sandra Zhang from Certified Management Accountants.
Good evening, everybody.
I'm Sandra Sang from Certified Management Accountants of Ontario, and I'm very pleased to be here today to tell you about the services that we offer to immigrants and internationally trained professionals who are interested in one of the 3 accounting designations in Canada. Over the past 7 years in my capacity as Regional Director of Marketing Communications at CMA Ontario, I have met many internationally trained immigrants who come from finance or accounting backgrounds who are having trouble getting into their trained professions here in Ontario. So being one of the few ethnic groups in management at CMA Ontario, I've been able to get buy-in from our senior management to come up with various ways to remove many barriers to entry into one of these professional accounting designations. So what we do at CMA is we do the following things to help a lot of immigrants get into the CMA program and be able to get the CMA designation within about 3 years of part-time studies. Currently, about 25% of the new CMA graduates are internationally educated professionals, so that's a great advancement that we've made. We offer free evaluation of university transcripts and credentials to people even before they arrive in Canada, so they can find out where they stand. And we also offer free CMA information sessions across Greater Toronto Area and across Ontario at many of these agencies that you see here today: Access, Skills for Change, YMCA, etc., Newcomers Information Centers, etc., etc. We also offer a lot of CMA student memberships at very low cost to help internationally educated professionals find jobs in Ontario, and also allow them to take a 7-month part-time fast-track program to cover the prerequisites for the CMA entrance exam so that they can effectively complete the CMA program within about 3 years of part-time studies. We also, in some cases, accept up to 1 year of past qualifying and verifiable work experience. So if you have questions about any of these to help, we do offer free CMA information sessions, so we are pleased to offer that to all of your organizations so that we can reach your clients to tell them about these services to help them get a designation faster. CMA Ontario is the fastest growing accounting designation in Ontario currently, so we would like to keep that up and certainly helping immigrants with that has helped us to grow very quickly. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Sean Wu of the Chinese Business Chamber of Canada.
Thank you. My name is Xiang Hu. I'm representing Chinese Business Chamber of Canada. We are a business association, and members mostly include immigrants from mainland China. We are a regular business association, providing services like organizing business events and group benefits, something like that. So I don't need to promote our services here. I don't see anyone interested in joining us here. Therefore, as for our concern, I'd like to see more government support for immigrants to become self-employed, start their own businesses. Obviously, it's not realistic for the newcomers to get all of them get jobs here. Therefore, self-employment can be an alternative to them. So we'd like to see some more services designed specifically for this group. If the government can get the funding for us, we can help. And also, I want to be the first speaker who ended the speech without an warning.
With us today, we'll have Karen Sun from the Chinese Canadian National Council. Karen, please.
Hi, I'm with the Toronto chapter of the Chinese Canadian National Council. We're an organization that promotes equity, social justice, inclusive civic participation, and the respect for diversity. With respect to immigration issues, we did a recent study with some researchers at the University of Toronto, and I'll give a copy of this to the minister at the end of the session today. Some of the recommendations from the study include the need for more accurate information about the Canadian labour market to be available to immigrants prior to their immigration to Canada. Obviously there's a need for ESL, but in particular there's a need to access enhanced English language training so that people with professional skills can more easily re-enter a professional field. There's a need to facilitate the accreditation of foreign-trained professionals and improve their access to professional jobs. And lastly, there needs to be better supports, income supports and other supports for families, particularly in the form of childcare and access to transportation, such as public transportation.
The next speaker will be Mr. Patrick Al of the Chinese Family Services of Ontario.
Yes, my name is Patrick. I'm coming from Chinese Family Services. Our agency is mainly to provide individual marital and family counseling to the community. I think all of them are aware of in the past few years, there are quite a lot, at least 25 family charities. I mean, 25 is all these charities is widely published in the media. And then the government said, okay, we are going to take care of this to have the newcomers. But let me tell you, it's not the Chinese issue. It's all the Ontario issue that when we approached the Ministry of Citizenship, they said, sorry, counseling is not a word in our dictionary. We only provide settlement services. And then when the tragedy happened again, suicide, homicide, and everything's happening again, and then all the community donation to have this family, and actually quite a lot of cases can be, proactively can be prevented for these family tragedies happen. And just because the services, the community has no such services. It's not funded by the Ministry of Citizenship, and even though citizenship saying that we only provide settlement, settlement doesn't include counseling. Counseling is never a word in our dictionary. So I would like the government to look seriously into this situation. It's not just in the Chinese community. It happens in all the community, ethnic community. It's the same. I hope that the government should include counseling in the settlement services. I think this will help the community, not just the Chinese community, every community in Ontario for the newcomers. Thank you.
Patrick's one of the big issue in terms of funding gaps. The next presenter, I would like to call upon Mr. Howard Shang of the Chinese Professionals Association of Canada.
Good afternoon. Based on a recent MCI Ministry of Citizenship and Immigration survey conducted by CPAC, which is our organization, back in 2007, the obstacles which new immigrants face are directly related with communication skills, job search technique, and cultural differences. While mainland Chinese are the largest immigrant group in Ontario, a large number of service providers reported that the mainland Chinese immigrants account for only 10% of their clientele, which suggests this group of immigrants are underserved. Although the needs of the mainland Chinese do not differ fundamentally from those of other ethnic groups, the cultural and linguistic characteristics demand innovative approaches in outreach and service delivery. There is an overall lack of readiness to provide programs that are culturally and need relevant to the mainland Chinese newcomers with regard to staffing, program development, cross-sector and or inter-agency collaborations and partnership. Therefore, to alleviate these situations, we recommend, number one, community service providers to partner with Chinese immigrant organization groups to strengthen program outreach and delivery capability. Two, promote and support cross-sector community collaboration and partnership in the development of resources, tools, and educational materials. Three, to adjust funding directions to support program services that address the needs of priority in profession-specific language training, credential assessment, employment that commensurate to the training of immigrants, for instance, internship programs in public sectors or corporate sectors. Four, continue the effort to study best practices and successful models with a focus on their transferability. Five, no-nonsense collaborations between different levels of governments in the area of funding programs and services. Together, we can make a difference. Thank you.
Mr. Zhou Jiang from the Chinese Professionals Association of Canada. The next presenter that we will have will be from the Federation of Chinese Canadians in Markham, Ms. Emily Ng.
Good morning, or afternoon actually. My name is Emily Ng, the Director responsible for Special Project and Public Relations. Our Federation of Chinese Canadians in Markham basically our objective is really taking care of the well-being of Chinese Canadians in Markham and taking care of human beings involvement in process of involvement in our societies, remaining divided into four sections. The seniors, which we have a senior center together with Markham Cultural Center, taking about 6,000 square feet in second floor of Market Village, which is really the first sizable Chinese cultural center in Ontario, providing programs and different things. Senior Center create activities that make seniors happy. Mahjong, traveling, parties, like for instance today between senior and culture they have music on wheels starting helping Alzheimer's Society to promote their organization activities and then go on to different nursing homes performing for seniors. And our cultural centers runs activities for brush painting, Chinese brush painting from Lawrence, and we have Chinese Kung Fu organized by the Shilong Kung Fu Grandmaster, Watong Master, and different activities as well as helping new immigrants English and so forth. And sports and recreation clubs operate over 40 gyms in York regions and different activities from Monday to Saturdays, and as well as the Chinese Chamber of Commerce have different things that help promote business. And when issues like signage that came into problems in 1995, we took up the fight, and the SARS that came in 2003, where we started the Taste of Asia Festival. Thank you.
Thank you, Emily. Again, I was inviting the participants to speak in terms of the seating order, but apparently I missed one, which is the organization of CMCC Mandarin Group. And we will have Alice Will from CMCC Mandarin Group to speak to us.
Hi, everyone. Hello, everyone. You see the access issues here, like that reflects the access issue. Like if you were not called upon, if you were not raised, then we don't think we'll have a chance. So we are representing the Chinese Mothers Catholic Church today, and we have quite a number of Mandarin-speaking newcomers with the church. Our church has over 13,000 parishioners, and we are in the York region. We have a lot of highlights today, and the main highlight is pre-arrival. Before the new immigrants arrive in Canada, we recommend that you have to expand the availability of pre-arrival services by setting up satellite office at the 10 top immigrant source countries with the following services, like the settlement services, a DISC, providing the information on settlement information on settlement were there, so that when they got the confirmation of landing, they can have the DISC, they can will it, they understand the situation in Canada. For a settlement language training program, if there are productions, this again, productions like distance learning, we got Canadian language benchmark level 1 to 5, self-learning is produced for purpose of closing the gaps and barriers of the daily communication within the new immigrants. So when they were back home, they preparing to come here. Before that, they got all this information, they learned the languages, it will be definitely a benefit for them. For a prudential assessment, a lot of people are frustrated here. If they were back home before they were here, before they had the blending day, then if there are linkage with the professional regulatory bodies and professional association for distant prudential assessment upon the assurance of confirmation of blending. For the seniors, I would like to talk about that they had difficulties in attending the daily activities or the programs, so transportation help would definitely be an asset. We'll be giving the whole town to the after we completed this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Alice. We briefly said before, the focus of today is on you, the organizations who are going to express concerns and possible recommendations. So we will have the second session to address that further. Thank you. The next speaker will be Marlene Zhang from the Global Federation of Chinese Business Women.
Before you do that, can I interrupt a little bit? Somebody left a BlackBerry somewhere.
I'm Esther Chang. I'm speaking on behalf of Marie. I'm the secretary of the Global Federation of Chinese Business Women. I think I'm the only one that is speaking on behalf of the ladies. So I have two teenagers. So all my child's problem belong to my problem. So what I observe is a lot of the work gifted lady came to Canada because of the childcare system is not good as they think. They can't leave the job, or they can't leave their home doing their business, whatever, the professional. Second thing, as I myself used to be accountant, so I know the tax system is not encourage people to be as a working couple. So they don't have, the tax system is very discouraging. Right, the CMA, the director agreed. The third thing is, I think we need to have more people skill for ladies to be in this association. Honestly, when I changed my career from the finance, from accountant to finance, I faced this difficulty. So I struggle a lot. Please help all those ladies to overcome this kind of software skill. I know a lot of associations like Loa. I used to be a volunteer there, but they never teach people skill. I'm sorry about that. So I used to be a volunteer there. So the people is so important. Okay. So the fourth thing, I think we need to support the teenagers in a way. I know that they do a lot of community work but right now, all the people saying Chinese community from the mainland China is the main work right now, the new immigrant. So what I find in our youth association, Joe just mentioned about, they don't go to that kind of association. The reason is people there, they can't speak their language, the Chinese language, Mandarin. So this is a lot of problem. We hope we can be funded because we are the only association that supported the Mandarin Chinese teens, right? They really love the fashion show, the catwalk, all those things. They love it, but we don't have funding. Marlene, she was so warm heart. She always support with her own money. So please help out that. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Esther. Thank you, Marlene. That's most of all you needed. We are all open-minded people here, and of course, we have the government who is open-minded as well. The next presenter will be Mr. Raymond Zhang from the Hong Kong Mental Health Association.
Thank you. Hong Kong Mental Health Association recommendation focus on migration and mental health. Migration and mental health has long been acknowledged as interconnected factors to be addressed in the settlement process for all new immigrants. Program planning on immigrant services should incorporate the holistic health approach as recommended by the World Health Organization. As such, funding from the Ministry of Citizenship and Immigration should be broader than information, language training, employment, to include health-related services. As the old saying goes, prevention is better than treatment. Mental health promotion and prevention programs are set as top priorities by the Federal Mental Health Commission, led by former Senator Michael Kirby and the recently formed Provincial Ministry of Health Promotion. I would encourage the MCI also to consider that funding should be given to health and mental health promotion. Thirdly, the provincial health transformation is developing the local health integration networks, highlighted the importance of participation by the local residents, including all newcomers. Coordination between the provincial ministry, MCI, and the 14th local health integration networks in planning process would facilitate higher participation from the new immigrant communities to assure their voices are heard. Lastly, over the last few years, there were quite a few suicide incidents in the new immigrant communities. The Mandarin-speaking community identified a Mandarin-speaking distress helpline as a high need. A group of volunteers has been working with the Distress Center of Toronto with the hope to develop such a service, but they are facing a lot of barriers. On behalf of the volunteer groups, Mr. Minister, I'd like to present a letter to you explaining their difficulties. Thank you.
Thank you, Raymond. The next presenter we have will be Daniel Yao, representative from Metro Toronto Chinese and Southeast Asian Legal Clinic. Daniel?
好啊，多謝晒啊！我係 Daniel Yao 啦嚇，咁我喺legal clinic 嗰度做嘢，咁嗰度主要就當然係做一啲嘅法律輔導嘅服務啦嚇。咁就即係我好支持我哋嘅同事咧，就提到話，即係我哋應該加強我哋嘅安居服務啊、語言嘅訓練啊，或者技術嘅培訓咁樣嚇。咁但係我覺得我哋都唔好忘記，我哋聽到好多故事咧，就話譬如話我哋好多嘅的士司機啊，我哋好多喺工廠嘅即係普通嘅員工啊，都有大學嘅學位，甚至乎博士學位嘅嚇。咁反映咗就話新移民好多時好多即係額外一啲嘅 barriers 令到佢哋係喺好好咁生活喺加拿大嘅社會啦。咁其實背後啦，當然係一啲好結構性或者我哋講叫制度性嘅問題啦。咁其中一樣嘢，我覺得就係話加拿大即係出現嘅我哋叫種族歧視嘅問題啦。咁種族歧視嘅問題，我覺得我哋唔能夠話即係視而不見㗎嚇。咁如果我哋喺呢度唔做一啲嘢的話咧，咁我覺得就算我哋做10年、20年好啦，嗰個進步咧都會係有限㗎嚇。咁所以即係如果我哋要係就翻呢啲嘅我哋講結構性嘅問題做功夫的話咧，我就覺得喺我哋嘅法律制度上面應該係即係多啲功夫啦。尤其是就話即係以往嚟講，安省有一個叫做即係我哋講叫就業平等嘅法例啦 ，Employment Equity Act 啦，我嚟講嚇。咁同埋即係呢度嚟講點樣去即係制定到即係等新移民有一個公平嘅就業嘅機會啦。另外就話一個我覺得仲係強大同埋好健全嘅即係人權保障嘅法案啦嚇，咁都會係十分重要嘅嚇。咁另外就話我提到我哋自己本行啦，就話嗰個叫法律我哋叫法律援助嗰個服務啦，或者我叫呢個有 chair 嗰個 support 有幾大啦嚇。咁最近即係省政府啦，亦都睇翻嗰個即係我哋講叫外國培訓嘅專業人士啦，嗰個嘅學歷成績嗰個制度啦。咁呢方面嗰個嘅我覺得嗰個法律啊或者制度啊嚇，咁應該即係省政府都做一個嘅我哋講叫即係一個領袖性角色啦嚇，就翻呢方面嗰個嘅障礙啊或者嘅要點樣開創啊，我覺得嚇，希望可以做多啲功夫咧嚇。 咁另外一樣關於我哋嘅選舉嘅制度咧，目前我哋嘅選舉咧好多時就話，即係如果你唔係公民咧，你係唔可以投票㗎嚇。咁呢樣嘢我覺得對好多即係新移民，但係佢未變為公民嚟講，我覺得係唔係咁公平嘅，因為佢個聲音咧喺個選舉制度上面完全反映唔到嚇。咁所以希望呢度都有個改革，咁就有個投票機會。Thank you.
On the list of participants, we have Audrey Jiang from Mississauga Board of Chinese Professionals of the Mississauga Chinese Business Association. Victor?
Hi. Okay, today we want to talk about a program, No Canadian Experience and Soft Skill Training, sponsored by MCI. I'm going to have my partner, George Carrier. My partner is also past chair of Mississauga Board of Trade. George, go.
Thanks. From a business perspective, no Canadian experience really is a euphemism for you're not going to fit in with our organization. There's not going to be a good organizational cultural fit. And Victor and I put a proposal together to MCI for soft skills business training, and we were funded by the minister, and we thank him. But we found that we were right in looking at this problem from a soft skills standpoint, because half of our candidates are employed before they finish our program. But we're also finding from the Chinese community there's an additional difficulty that they face, and it's the language issue. And there's the soft skills, imbuing that, learning that, is taking a lot longer for Chinese Mandarin speakers, native speakers. They're falling behind other newcomer groups. For example, when English-speaking Nigerians or from Pakistan or from India are looking for jobs, we get them through soft skills training, we can present them to get jobs. Chinese candidates are a little bit weaker from that standpoint. So our recommendation to the minister is, again, a focus on those particular areas with a focus on the distinctiveness of the Chinese community so that they can be kept on an equal footing with other newcomer groups that we're finding employment for. Thank you.